Hey everyone, Michelle here from Be Rejuvenated Studio, and thanks for joining me today, where we believe at our studio here that real beauty equals inner beauty from the inside out. Today I want to talk about change, and the question I want to talk about is how do people finally change if they ever do? I'm going to be talking about this through a 4-part series. This is the first of a 4-part series. So I hope you stick around and enjoy what I have to talk about. But the first question here is, how do people finally change if they ever do? So let's jump right into it. Well, usually people, for the most part, wait for crisis or illness or some sort of pain, diagnosis, disease, loss, anything like that before they decide to change their lives. Why can they change now finally? Well, it's because they don't feel like themselves at this point. They feel very uncomfortable because of the crisis or what's going on in their life. But what this does is they can now observe themselves as if they're looking at themselves through the eyes of someone else. It's kind of like when you can observe someone else or give them advice. You're able to see clearly what's going on with them and how you might be able to offer some advice to help them through their situation. Well, that's kind of what's happening here when the crisis hits. They're finally able to look at themselves subjectively and be able to think clearly and start thinking differently. This somehow, causes people to finally make that decision to want to change. So, but here's my question, why wait for something to go wrong when you can change your life through other ways, like through joy and inspiration, rather through times of crisis? There's actually a better way to change than having to wait for crisis, and it's a very simple way, actually, and it's really just simply through changing the way you think, through laying down new beliefs, thoughts, and emotions, and changing how you think and feel. That's really the secret sauce right there. And there's actually a formula for that, which I will get into as we go into our second, third, and fourth part of the series. But there's been this long-standing idea that humans have to suffer and they have to pine just to gain. We seem to use it as a springboard, as a last-ditch effort to catapult us out of the crisis. But honestly, this idea, it's just a made-up idea from our limited thinking and our logical mind. Humans do not have to suffer in order to gain, or to grow, or to thrive, or even to receive their desires, or just find some way to justify that they're worthy and deserving of the things they desire. Like, for example, like recognition of some kind, or a raise, or maybe earning more money, or promotion, or maybe they want a new relationship or a career, or something like an object, like a new car, or who knows, maybe a pair of shoes, whatever. It could be, anything big or small. But here's the thing, when someone says I am to anything, this is really important, guys. It's really an important thing to think about and to start to become aware of. But when someone says I am to anything, for example, I'm insecure or I'm broke, you're literally commanding your mind and body into a destiny. Now, what do I mean by that? What I mean by that is our minds and our body basically are always listening to what we're thinking, what we're saying, and they basically do what we tell them to do. So it doesn't really come with any power on its own. It just basically does what we ask it to do. So it's really important, because once we begin to become aware of this thing, this is how we start to become aware of the thoughts we're thinking and how we can begin to make those changes. And we're going to get more into that as we go into the series. But, sometimes, unfortunately, and there's actually a lot of people, unfortunately, that don't grow. And, and that'll be our next question in our next part series. But just for today, I wanted to start with the question of change and, how do people change if they ever do? So that's it for now. I don't want to oversaturate you with so much information, but I do want to start with that. So, stick around for the next few parts because it's going to get interesting. And it's really going to give some insight on how you can really begin to make changes in your life and start to live in that future reality that you dream about. Okay, so that's it for now, everyone. I hope you have a wonderful day. And I'm sending you so much love. Be well and take care, and I will see you at the next one. Bye-bye. This video was inspired by the teachings of Dr. Joe Dispenza and the Law of Assumption and teachings by Neville Goddard. These teachings have inspired me to want to share the knowledge that I have in helping us all become better versions of ourselves. Thanks for joining me here at Be Rejuvenated.